Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi. Welcome here. This is your host, Muhammad Tucker, and I'm commenting on a post, a snippet, clip from an interview with Saifuddin Amos. Saifuddin mentioned that practically, in his view, Bitcoin, not only is it better money than fiat, it's actually fard, an obligation. And obviously, Saifuddin is a specialist in the field of economics, not a specialist in Islamic law. So is he right in saying that it is fard, an obligation upon the Muslims to adopt Bitcoin? Um, I would say yes, but no. What do I mean by that? It's possible that something is fard due to circumstances, not due to a thing. So he's not saying that Bitcoin has properties which makes it wajib to use. But what he is saying, which you see from the explain, or what you can see from the way he described the scenario, he described the scenario as if you've been on a stranded island and there's nothing to eat on the island other than pork, as in there's pig, wild boar. So obviously mankind has to eat, so they now hunt boar, Muslims, and they eat pig. It is what it is. Why do you do that? Because there's nothing else to eat. Fair enough. Let's forget the fact that we're on an island and you can fish. But whatever it is, pig. And that is fully valid. Islamically speaking, it is a fully valid position to take. We're not saying that pig is halal, but we're saying that due to circumstances, we have no choice. So after maybe a while passes that way. I mean, Muslims are just eating pork because there's nothing else to eat. But then, once upon a time, or so there are some later date, they find a herd of cows. Now, can we now say, oh, well, I kind of got used to the pig, tastes quite nice, juicy. No, if you have the halal alternative, then you must use the halal alternative. Now, is it wajib to eat beef? No, it isn't. No one will ever claim that you must eat beef. But you can definitely claim in this circumstance here, it is wajib to eat the beef. Why? Because what's the alternative? Pork? That's haram. So if the only other alternative we have is pork, and that's haram, therefore it is a necessity to you now eat the beef, because otherwise it'd be suicide, you'd be killing yourself. And you haven't got an excuse anymore. Listen carefully, you haven't got an excuse anymore to eat the pork. So likewise with fiat currency is an interest-based currency. It comes into existence. It is born. It is spawned from the cauldron of Satan, of interest. Every single penny, every single cent and dime comes through interest. That's how it works. That's how it functions. Even when you bank transfers, unless you're using cash or paper, even then it's still issued the same way. But that's the only way you can claim possibly that you're avoiding the interest system. But at the same breath, it still comes into existence through through interest. So we have a system which is inherently evil. But we were forced to because there was no other way to transact, especially long distance, without it. One could say, yeah, we had gold, we had silver, but your boss is not going to be paying you in gold coins. You're not going to be able to send transactions on Amazon with golden bullion. So there's a large part of the economy that can't function without fiat. I mean, that's the reason why governments, even countries like Iran and Russia and countries that are generally at odds with the USA, are forced to use the SWIFT system because there's no way to get money from one country to the other country without using the SWIFT system. So we're kind of compelled. But now we have Bitcoin. I mean, there's no other reason to use those systems when we have Bitcoin. So therefore, we kind of have to use Bitcoin. Now, one could argue, well, now we have the technology of Bitcoin. And therefore, it's not necessarily wajib to use Bitcoin. We could make our own coin. We could make an Islam coin. We could make the Saudi coin, the MBS coin. We could make our own coin. We don't have to use Bitcoin. So therefore, there's no reason to say that Bitcoin is wajib to use or fard. You can use any coin. Yes, no, kind of. It comes down to the issue of adoption again. I mean, I could issue my own coin, and um, but that doesn't mean that you're gonna take that coin. Bitcoin is a globally accepted coin. Everyone knows that it exists. Everyone knows it has value, especially now with BlackRock is aping into Bitcoin and ETFs, and it's here to stay. That whole FUD that Bitcoin's going to be banned, that's dead now. No one can mention that claim anymore. Alhamdulillah. That now that's been replaced by the BlackRock is buying up Bitcoin. Refer to the video I had make about that the other day. So that's now the new FUD. But the case the case is still a strong case that Bitcoin, even if it hasn't reached the level of you are sinful if you don't use it, it is most definitely something that Muslims not adopting it are literally shooting themselves in the foot. Especially countries like Lebanon, Syria, Libya, whose currencies are not doing too well, Egypt, Turkey even, and it would benefit them greatly to use a decentralized currency. One may argue Bitcoin isn't ready for that yet, that level of adoption. I reckon these are small things that can be resolved in a short space of time. But these are things that are there. But yeah, it is definitely something we should Muslims need to take heed of. And what I would definitely agree in is that ignoring it is now sinful almost. I would say ignoring Bitcoin is a bit sinful. Is a little bit. Why is it sinful? Because you know the current system we have is evil. And you choose not to look for alternatives, not to even consider the alternatives, but to remain where you are, that is literally saying, I don't want to hunt that buffalo, those wild cows. I'm sticking to my wild boar. وصلى الله نبي محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Hopefully you find this video beneficial. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.